It's not unusual to dream of being able to set a world record. Whether you're looking to skateboard off the tallest building in the world or win more Olympic medals than anyone else, there seems to be a world record for just about everything. Though some records that have been set are unlikely to ever be surpassed, some may even call it impossible. Today, we will be taking a look at 10 impossible world records that you'll never see again. But before we begin, make sure you hit that like button and notification bell, or your chances at winning a world record will be cursed for all eternity. Number 10. Michael Phelps used to be an Olympic swimmer. He is considered to be the most decorated Olympian of all time, which is why he holds a world record. Back in 2008, Michael attended the Olympic Games and won an astonishing 28 medals. 23 of these medals were gold, 3 were silver, and 3 were bronze, meaning that he has won more Olympic medals than anyone else in the world. He beat the previous world record of 7 first-place finishes, which was held by Mark Spitz after his performance in 1972. It's not only uncommon to win so many medals, but it's nearly impossible. To do so, you not only have to be the absolute best at your sport, but you also have to compete in events that can award a contestant multiple awards for a single performance. Games like this are extremely rare in the Olympics. The chances of someone taking Michael Phelps' record away from him are not very high, though it may technically be possible. It's unlikely we will ever see his record broken in our lifetime, especially considering that the Olympics are only held once every 4 years.
How do I define myself? 80% trill and 30% dope. People think I'm crazy, that I'm out of control. How do you think I got all this gold?
Crazy and out of control may have worked for his individual.
Number 9. Ashrita Furman is a very exceptional man. Most people on this list hold a single world record, though Ashrita holds several. He has a world record for having the most world records. Crazy, right? No one really knows how he was able to break so many records within his lifetime, but he managed to break a total of 600 world records, and he still holds the title to 191 of those. We can only imagine how many years it must have taken this man to accomplish so many things. Being good at a single sport or task is pretty rewarding, but this man proved he is good at almost everything. And not only good, but the best in the world. It's unlikely that anyone will break Ashrita's record any day soon. This man is a walking miracle.
Yes, I have many world records, but I think every person has a passion for something that they could become a world record holder in.
Number 8. Roy C. Sullivan is an interesting man with a rather sad backstory. His world record was set by complete accident, and he had no intention of ever setting a record for such a feat. Though Roy managed to get a world record for being struck by lightning more times than anyone. He wasn't just struck once or twice, he was struck a total of 7 times. He has since been named the Human Lightning Conductor. Sullivan was first struck in 1942 and was finally struck for the 7th time in 1977. Roy did not die from any of the events and only suffered minor medical issues as a result. He passed away in 1983 after he decided to take his own life. We hate to hear Roy's tragic end, but it's so crazy to think that someone could be struck by lightning 7 times and live. Number 7. Eric Brown, also known as Captain, is a pilot for the Navy who was able to obtain a world record for flying more differing aircraft than anyone else in the world. He has flown countless different models over the years, and his record is unlikely to ever be broken. Eric broke this record because he was heavily involved in aviation during World War II. At this time, the military was only just beginning to implement aircraft into their lineup of weaponry, and Eric was tasked with test flights. He remained in the military for many years and tested virtually every vehicle that was passed on to soldiers and aviation experts. The fact that he was in the military during such an interesting time in World War history means that his record is almost guaranteed to remain unbroken for many years to come. It would be difficult enough to get a hold of so many aircraft, but even more difficult to be able to fly dozens of them each day for multiple years. Number 6. Back in March of 2006, a terrible tornado tore through an area in Fordland, Missouri. The damage that was left behind was devastating, and several homes were damaged in the process. Matt Suter was a homeowner who had been greatly affected by this. He was in his mobile home at the time the tornado hit. The tornado ripped him from the home and tossed him an estimated 1,200 feet from his original location. He was knocked unconscious in the process and awoke sometime later after the tornado had passed. He was taken to a hospital but was found to have only sustained minor injuries. He made a complete recovery very quickly and lives to tell the story. He soon found out that he set a world record for being the only person to have been thrown by a tornado at such a great length and survive. It's extremely unlikely anyone will ever take that title away from him, at least not on purpose. Number 5. Tutsomo Yamaguchi is very likely the luckiest man in the world, though that isn't technically the reason why he holds a world record. Back during World War II, the United States dropped 2 of the world's only atomic bombs on Japan. The first bomb was dropped on Hiroshima and was dubbed Little Boy. Just a couple days later, the US issued another attack, this time targeted at Nagasaki. This bomb was called Fat Boy. Yamaguchi was around to witness both of these attacks and survived to tell his story. At the time, he was on a business trip to Hiroshima. This was the same time that the first bomb was dropped, but Yamaguchi was largely unaffected by the blast and later returned to his hometown of Nagasaki. Once he was back home, the second bomb was dropped and he witnessed the attack again. We certainly hope that this is a world record that will never be broken, but Yamaguchi is the only man in the world to ever witness 2 atomic blasts firsthand. Number 4. Kevin Fast is a cool name for a cool guy. He is one of the strongest men on the planet and was willing to prove this and set a world record in the process. Kevin attempted to pull the heaviest aircraft that has ever been pulled by a single person. He managed to pull a CC-177 that weighs around 180 tons. He pulled the plane over 25 feet and set a world record for doing it. This isn't only the largest plane to have ever been pulled, but also the largest and heaviest attempt to have ever been made. The CC-177 is known for being one of the heaviest planes ever made, and it seems unrealistic that a single human could pull all of that weight, but Kevin Fast certainly did. Number 3. In January of 2009, a very strange world record was set by accident. Nadia Solman had been pregnant for many months. She was known to have been giving birth to several children, but no one could have anticipated that she would become pregnant with 8 children at the same time. She carried all 8 of these children to term and gave birth on January 26th of 2009. She had 6 boys and 2 girls. This is only the second case of octuplets in US history, and the only case in which all 8 children were born alive. This is an extremely rare situation, and it seems unlikely that this situation will ever present itself again, especially considering that each of the children survived and are perfectly healthy to this day. Nadia is almost guaranteed to hold this world record for the rest of her life. We couldn't imagine having to live through the birth of triplets, but this woman somehow gave birth to 8 full-size children in a single setting. Unbelievable. Number 2. Queen Elizabeth II is currently the Queen of the United Kingdom and several other areas of Europe. She first came to power in 1952 when her father passed away. Since then, she has had 4 children with her husband, Prince Philip. She is currently 94 years old as of 2020. As of 2015, she is the oldest monarch, with the previous record holder being just 87 years old. The Queen is still quite active for her age and still attends many UK ceremonies and political events. She doesn't show any signs of slowing down, and it's unlikely this record will be broken any day soon, considering that most other leaders are only in their 50s or 60s. We hope to see the Queen retain power for many years to come, and we can't wait to see how high her record will eventually go. Number 1. Any sporting event is flooded with highly opinionated viewers and fans. We can debate who is the best football player, baseball player, or basketball player all day, but in the end, it will only be our opinion that we are sharing. Though some sports players have proven that they are the best of all time, including the legendary soccer player known as Pele. Pele is known to be an incredibly gifted individual and has an unreal talent. In 1999, Pele was voted the Athlete of the Century by the International Olympic Committee. He has managed to score 650 goals and played in 694 matches throughout his career. He has been playing soccer, also known as football, since he was just 15 years old and began his career way back in 1958. He continued playing ball until 1977 when his career finally ended. He is currently 79 years old and has lived to tell the tale of how he won 3 World Cups. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pele has won 3 World Cups, giving him the world record for the most World Cups ever won by an individual. This record was set in 1970 and has remained unbroken since then.